guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions review on something really cool that just came out. It's like very innovative and cool, and I was like, you know what, let me try this out. Real quick before we get into this video, I'm in all Mexican gear, Mexico, and I'm wearing my bandana. Honestly, I'm wearing the bandana because my hair looks like shiz, so I was just kind of wanted to cover it up. But that's why I look all greenish. So I already went ahead and did my eye makeup, and now we're strictly going to focus on the face makeup. But the reason we're focusing on the face makeup today is because I actually just got this new IT Cosmetics brush, and they actually were so kind enough to send this over to me, and I was just really intrigued by it because it's shaped in a star. So let's take it out real quick. Are we able to take it out? Is it gonna come out? So the brush looks like this. It's literally shaped like a star. It's so cool. Perfect timing for the 4th of July, which is next week. It is gonna be coming out in July, so be on the lookout for this brush at your local Ultas. IT Cosmetics always does such a beautiful job of coming out with really great brushes. I have some other brushes, and they're truly some of my favorite brushes. Every time I go into my local Ulta, I always look at like that IT wall where it says IT Cosmetics, and the IT is like in brush form, and I just want to touch it and like rub my face against it, but then I'm like, wait, this is probably so dirty, so let me not rub my face, but it just feels so nice. So I was just really intrigued on this brush. It's super duper soft. Same consistency as their other brushes. It feels really, really, really good. And let's kind of read a little bit about it. So this is a new and limited edition Super Stay Flawless Foundation Brush. And it just is gonna give you a great finish. It is gonna be retailing for $30, which is a typical price for IT Cosmetics brushes. They're made with really, really good quality, and they're very durable. These brushes will last a long time. I have my IT Cosmetics fan brush, which I've had for 6 years, and it's still in perfect condition. This is one of my favorite brushes of all time, and it still feels like just yesterday when I purchased it. And it says that it is a luxurious, dense, flat top brush, which features the star shape that does the work for you to reach every corner of your face and to give you the most even, flawless application. So it has the flat top kabuki type of situation like any other flat top brush. But the reason I like this one, just from feeling it, is that it does definitely feel super nice and soft and lightweight. It's not so stiff. I know that with some kabuki brushes that are flat top, they're super duper stiff, and I feel like when I'm blending out my foundation, it doesn't blend out nice enough because it's just way too chunky and stiff. I just said stick. I feel like the hardest part for me to apply foundation is around my nose, like right here, because it's like so rounded usually that it's hard to get in there, but this definitely you can get in there. So we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna go ahead and put this brush to the test because I wanna see if it's worth $30. It just says to make sure you buff onto the skin with small circular motions, use edges around the contours of your face. So we're gonna go ahead and take our CoverGirl True Blend Matte Foundation. This is in the color M70. So I just went ahead and dotted it. This is the worst part when you have to get the brush dirty. So it says buff in circular motions. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. It's blending it nicely. I'm gonna mix it with something else because I feel like it looks a little too light. So we're gonna be taking our Dior Forever. I need to get a darker shade. I feel like my foundation match has been off lately. I've been getting tanner and tanner. Yeah, that's more like it. So I mixed the Dior Skin, which I mentioned in my summer foundations. This is really good summer foundation. This is in the number 41. Yeah, that's more like my shade. Wow, it's blending it nicely. I feel like the hardest part for me to always reach when I have like a flat top kabuki or like a rounded brush is always these little edges. But with this brush, because it has that star shaped, I feel like it really can hug those nose contours. And I find that doing those circular motions that set in the directions is really helpful because it literally blends the foundation right into your skin. And even when you're working like right here around your brows, because like I said, it's in that star shape, it can really maneuver around your brow without ruining your brow. Especially if you're somebody that likes to do their eye makeup and their brows before they apply foundation, this is definitely going to be a brush that you will enjoy. Okay, so this is with the foundation on and the brush was used for the entire process. It looks really nice. The only thing that I'm a little frustrated with is that, like I mentioned, my rosacea is kind of flaring up again a little bit. So it's kind of making certain areas of the foundation not really grasp on to my skin. So that's why there's like a little bit of a loophole. But I've always realized that whenever I do have my rosacea flare-ups and it kind of intervenes with the application of my foundation, I've always noticed that it's better for me to use a brush than a sponge because the sponge ends up absorbing way too much of the foundation, which causes the redness to be more noticeable. This is the most that I could cover my redness today because of my flare today, but I did a really great job and the brush did a good job, as you guys saw with the circular motions, and really kind of patted it in. It made it kind of look not as noticeable as it could have looked. So what I'm gonna do now is go in with some concealer and then we can go ahead and talk about this new IT Cosmetics star-shaped foundation brush. I really do have to say I like how it applied everything else. I feel like everything on the skin looks super nice. It doesn't look cakey. I know with some brushes or even some sponges, it can make foundations look super cakey the way that you apply them or the tools that you use. I've tried brushes that I've just been so excited about and then I try it and it literally made my foundation look disgusting. I feel like brushes are such a big element of how your makeup looks and lasts on your skin. So far I'm really impressed and I'm liking how this went on the skin, but I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts once I go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup so we can decide if this is worth $30 or not. So stay tuned. Okay, so I am back. I completed my entire face of makeup and I'm feeling really good about this look. First of all, the eyeshadow is like my favorite part. It looks so freaking beautiful. It's the Kristen Dominique Latte palette. I'm obsessed. And I just got her new Lemonade collection. It's here and I will be reviewing and doing a tutorial on that this weekend. So stay tuned for that because it's gonna be super exciting. I haven't even tried it. I'm gonna try it all on camera to give you guys my first impressions. So just be expecting that. But now let's go ahead and talk about the new IT Cosmetics star-shaped limited edition brush. The brush definitely did a really good job of covering the entire face with the foundation, and because we were going in circular motions and really, you know, putting that product into the skin and kind of patting it in, it did such a good job of really locking the foundation in. I also have to say that a lot of times when I use like a beauty sponge or even when I use my kabuki brush, which is this guy right here, my golden triangle Delium Tools brush, I love this brush so much, but I've noticed that whenever I just use the brush by itself and I try to go in on these edges around my nose, I can never really cover my full nose right here. But I noticed with this brush, I looked at it afterwards and it literally has a foundation all throughout. It's not just like one part of it. And it's because, like I mentioned, it hugs, like the angle of the star does a good job of really hugging that and kind of really giving it that really good coverage around the nose. And for me at least, one of the toughest places to apply foundation is always around my nose, also around my mouth sometimes, like in these little edges. It's hard to really get in there and apply the product. And also on my brows, like when they're already done and I don't want to ruin my brows, I have a hard time going in with a brush. It's good that it kind of has this angle so that it really goes your way. I also like the fact that the brush has really soft bristles and it kind of really goes the direction you want to go. Like if you're brushing this way, it'll push that way. If you're brushing that way, it'll push this way. It's not so stiff. It's very similar to my Delium Tools brush, which is also very fluffy and not so stiff. Nothing irks me more than a really stiff foundation brush. I feel like sometimes flat tops can be stiffer than other brushes, but this one was not like that at all. So honestly, I have to say, I think this brush is totally worth the money. One of the reasons why I feel like IT Cosmetics prices their brushes, you know, between like $20 to $30 is because they make sure that they make brushes that will last you a long time. Now, I know right now we're like in a time frame where it's all about Morphe brushes. Everybody loves Morphe brushes, their affordability, it's like everything. And I totally get it, but I have a lot of Morphe brushes. that I honestly, like, as soon as I do probably like about 10 washes or even a year into it, I start to see that the brush hairs start to like shed like crazy and the brush just gets ruined. I feel like they're not as durable as some other brushes. To be honest, I still love Sigma brushes. I feel like Sigma brushes are super durable as well. They've lasted me for a long time, the ones that I do have. And same thing with my IT Cosmetics brush. I'm telling you, this is one of my longest used brushes, this fan brush by IT Cosmetics, and I've had this, like I mentioned, for 6 years and it's still going on strong. It still looks in really great conditions. So if you're wondering like, oh, I can't justify the price because I feel like $30 can be a stretch, I totally get it. You don't have to do it. I'm not telling you like go out and get this immediately, but I do think that when it comes to a foundation brush and also your eyeshadow blending brushes and just eyeshadow brushes in general, I always really recommend spending the money on those brushes because nothing's gonna make your foundation look better than, of course, a good foundation, but a good brush or a sponge to really apply it. Or this one right now that I'm using from Beauty Bakery that I still have a hard time really getting into those edges of my nose, but this is the first time that I did my makeup and I had no issue whatsoever really getting in there and kind of like cleaning it perfectly. So that's something that I really do have to say that I enjoyed about this brush, and I would definitely go out and purchase this for myself. I will be recommending this to my sisters because I always put them on. I feel like it's a really cool thing, and I also like the fact that they did like a little star shape. I feel like it makes it super cute and super fun and friendly to use for everybody. So I would really recommend, even if you don't get this one, I would recommend looking into IT Cosmetics foundation brushes. Also Delium Tools, one of my favorite brushes is my Precision Kabuki. I will have that link down below as well. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is always when it comes to foundation brush, I would make the investment because I would rather have a brush that's gonna last me a really long time than have a brush that's affordable that I'm gonna have to replace in a year. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just gonna add up to what you could have purchased from the get-go that will last you longer. So those are my final thoughts. I really liked this brush a lot, and I am super excited that IT Cosmetics is always, you know, trying to come out with something new, and I just love it. And like I mentioned, this is a limited edition brush, but I will definitely find a brush by IT Cosmetics that's comparable to this. I know they have flat top kabukis, so I will find something comparable to this one, but I think what makes this one so unique and innovative is that it's able to really like hug all those areas on your skin and really get to those areas that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get with just a rounded brush. So if you guys have any other suggestions for future videos, please go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, what do you think of this new brush? Do you think it's cool? Because I think it's really cool, especially covering these little edges that I always have issues with. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy watching videos on me trying new products out. And if you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love for you to become a member of our family here on YouTube because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And that being said, I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new fun video. Bye guys!